hold the Iron Throne, but they are functionally bankrupt. Their gold mines have run dry, and their legitimacy is a joke. If the truth about Cersei and Jaime comes out, the Lannisters aren't just out of power, they are dead. House Tyrell, they are the new money. They have the food, the gold, and the beauty, but they lack the killer instinct of the old guard. Olenna wants to buy her way into the history books, but she's realizing that Tywin Lannister doesn't accept currency. He only accepts souls. This scene is the moment where the unstoppable force of Lannister cruelty meets the immovable object of Tyrell ambition.
Brothers and sisters, where I come from, that stain would be very difficult to wash out.
Olenna just dropped a nuclear bomb in a teacup. Notice her phrasing. True, we don't tie ourselves in knots. She is positioning the Tyrells as modern, enlightened, and relaxed. She is trying to make Laura's sexuality seem like a minor clerical error. But then she pivots with the word but. When she says brothers and sisters, the temperature in the room drops to 0. She isn't just gossiping. She is performing a lethal comparison of crimes. She is telling Tywin, your grandson might be a sword swallower, but my children aren't a crime against nature and the gods. This is a direct threat to the legitimacy of the crown. She is holding a match to the Lannister powder keg and smiling. She is reminding him that the Lannister brand is covered in a stain that no amount of gold can wash away.
I will not breathe further life into a malicious lie by
Watch Tywin's face. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't deny it with emotion. He performs an administrative shutdown. To Tywin Lannister, a lie is only a lie if you allow it to be discussed. By refusing to breathe life into it, he is practicing information control. He knows Olenna is right, but he also knows that in the Game of Thrones, truth is a choice. If he refuses to acknowledge the incest, it doesn't exist in the legal record. He is shutting down her leverage by refusing to play her game. He is signaling that he is immune to shame. You cannot blackmail a man who has no soul.
Lie or not, you must admit many people find it quite convincing. Convincing enough to put swords in their hands and send them off to kill Lannisters and Tyrells.
Olenna counters with the reality check. She is telling Tywin that his administrative shutdown doesn't work on the battlefield. She uses the word convincing. This is the key to political survival. It doesn't matter if Cersei and Jaime are innocent. It matters that the world thinks they are guilty. She is reminding him that the Lannister lie has a body count. Thousands of men are dying because of this malicious lie. She is stripping away Tywin's cold logic and replacing it with the sound of sharpening swords. She is telling him that his wall of denial is made of paper and the fire is already starting.
Thanks to our new affiliation.
I don't care what people believe, and neither do you.
This is the mutual destruction pact. Tywin just grabbed Olenna by the throat. When he says our new affiliation, he is reminding her that the Tyrells are now invested in the lie. Margaery Tyrell is set to marry Joffrey. If Joffrey is a bastard, Margaery is a whore, and the Tyrells are traitors. He is telling her, we are in the same sinking ship, Olenna. If you poke a hole in my side of the boat, you drown too. It is a chilling moment of sovereign collusion. He is forcing her to become his accomplice.
Now, if the rumors about my children were true, then Joffrey is no king at all, and House Tyrell is throwing its prize flower into the dirt.
And if Cersei is too old to give Laura's children, we're throwing another prize flower into the dirt.
This is the bottom line refusal. Olenna is running the numbers, and the math doesn't work. She calls Margaery and Laura's prize flowers. This is classic Olenna. She views her grandchildren as high-value assets. She is telling Tywin that the Lannister debt is too high. Why should she trade her healthy, young, fertile grandson for a 40-year-old woman who might not be able to produce an heir? She is auditing the marriage contract and finding it bankrupt. She is attempting to walk away from the table, thinking she still has the power to say no.
If you refuse to marry Loras to Cersei, I will name him to the King's Guard.
And here is the checkmate. The moment Olenna tries to walk away, Tywin reaches for the executive kill switch.
He realizes that negotiation is over. He moves from being a business partner to being a predator. By threatening to name Loras to the Kingsguard, he is using the law to commit dynastic murder. Look at the brilliance of this move. It's not a threat of violence, it's a threat of bureaucracy. He is using a promotion to destroy a family. He is showing Olenna that her wealth and her prize flowers mean nothing if he decides to change the rules of the game.
I'm sure you're familiar with the Kingsguard's vows. He will never marry. He will never have children. The Tyrell name will fade, and High Garden will go to the children of Joffrey and Marjorie.
This is the forensic liquidation of a dynasty. Tywin isn't just threatening Loras, he is threatening the future. If Loras joins the Guard, the Tyrell line ends. No heirs, no future. Highgarden, the richest land in the world, would legally fall into the hands of Joffrey's children, who are actually Lannisters. Tywin is describing the total absorption of House Tyrell into House Lannister. He is telling Olenna that he will eat her family alive, and he will use the King's Law to do it. It is the most cold-blooded moment in the series. He is murdering a family with a pen.
You would have your grandson protected by someone who disgusts you.
This is Olenna's final moral challenge. She is trying to find a crack in Tywin's armor. She is appealing to his sense of properness or disgust. She is asking, how can you be so cynical that you would put a man you hate next to the king you love? She is still trying to play the game of morals, failing to realize that Tywin Lannister burned his morals a long time ago. She is looking for a human reaction in a man who has become a machine.
I would have my grandson protected by a skilled warrior who takes his vows seriously. So, shall I draw up the order? Or do you consent to this match?
The final ultimatum. Tywin's response is a masterpiece of pragmatism. He doesn't care about Loras's personal life. He only cares about his utility. If Loras is a good fighter and takes vows seriously, he is a skilled asset. Tywin has completely dehumanized the situation. He then delivers the closing line. Shall I draw up the order, or do you consent? He is giving her the choice between submission or extinction. There is no third option. No more tea, no more lemon cakes, just the sound of a pen waiting to sign away a grandson's life.
It's a rare enough thing. A man who lives up to his reputation.
The bitter surrender. Olenna Tyrell, the woman who has outsmarted everyone for 50 years, just met a monster she couldn't charm or shame. When she says he lives up to his reputation, she isn't giving him a compliment. She is acknowledging that he is exactly as heartless as the stories say. She snaps the quill in half. That snap is the sound of House Tyrell breaking. She has saved her family name, but at the cost of her grandson's freedom. She realizes that in this room, she wasn't a queen of thorns. She was just another piece on Tywin Lannister's board. What did they actually win? Tywin Lannister won the argument, but he just forced two people who hate each other into a marriage that will eventually lead to his own family's destruction. He thinks he's securing his legacy, but he's actually just building a bigger cage for his children. Olenna won the survival of her name, but she lost her soul. She realized that to stay in the game, she has to be just as monstrous as Tywin. This scene is a funeral for hope. It shows us that in Westeros, the more you win, the more you lose. The great houses are so busy protecting their names that they've forgotten to be human. And as we know,